Good morning, fellow Malaysians. This is Matthias Chang once again from Future Fast Forward. In the last few days, there's been an uproar with regard to the anti-fake news bill debate in Parliament. And of course, it will soon become an act to be enforced against Naji's opponent during the election. However, I for myself am not too worried about that act because I'm willing to take them on at any time because I've always told the truth, nothing but the truth, and based on the evidence and documents uttered or written or published by the criminal cabal in power, the henchmen, and what have you. Because for too long, governments like the Najib regime have abused their power to intimidate so as to survive in power. Now, today I will raise two issues to show how all of you in the future should take the trouble and not sit back on your ass and expect people to spoon feed you. Because in the past, I've received all kinds of WhatsApp messages, videos, which were not verified or in fact could be entrapment for me and for which I have rejected. And I hope this video address will enlighten you and help you to be more prepared in this brutal war against the Najib regime. The first issue which I want to draw your attention is some of the statements made by the Minister Sadiq Khawaja on the 1st of March and then subsequently on the 28th of March. Okay? And I'll show to you how it's so easy to expose their fake news and that what we expose to rakyat, we the people of Malaysia, are the truth. This is the first item. Okay? Take a handphone, photograph it. Saleh opposition thriving on fake news about equanimity. March 1st. Alright? Now let me read to you the key parts which I have highlighted. Pertaining Jaya, Communications and Multimedia Minister Sadiq Khawaja has hit out at the opposition for harping on Indonesia's impounding of a luxury yacht allegedly owned by JhoLow, calling it a failed attempt to mislead Malaysia with fake news. So he's saying that the seizure of the yacht Equanimity is fake news. Then he says, the reality is that source of the allegation is contained in the United States Department of Justice, DOJ civil lawsuit, which in fact has been put on hold since August 2017. He said in his blog today. Half-truth and a misleading deception on the part of the minister, and I'll show to you how. And then, continuing with the statement as reported, the minister says, as quoted that, the Armed Treasurer said the DOJ has also yet to prove any of his allegations in a court of law. No proof in any court of law. Very blatant statement. The Mahathir-led DAP dominant Pakatan Harapan is using fake news as their primary political weapon to garner votes for the coming general election. It is in fact they are pushing fake news to garner votes in the general election. And then in the bold letter, one MDB has repeatedly clarified that while it did have business dealings with ABA BVI, one MDB has not had any business dealings with JhoLow, and more importantly, what MDB is not a party to DOJ lawsuit. Okay. And then the final statement, the paragraph which I want to highlight to you all is this. The statement that said that JhoLow looked forward to the US court being presented with the actual facts which demonstrate the DOJ case is completely without foundation. All right? So, now let me then pause here and tell you why I say that this Minister Salim Kwak has in fact, by that statement, used fake news, deception and misinformation. And this chick has a cheek to say the fake news is against people spreading fake news. Okay. What does he mean by saying that opposition was harping on Indonesia's impounding of a luxury yacht allegedly owned by JhoLow, calling it a failed attempt to mislead Malaysians with fake news? First of all, how does he know that the yacht is not owned by JhoLow? Where is the proof? You see? How stupid he is. He wants proof from us. But he's exerting, as a matter of fact, that JhoLow is not the owner of the yacht Equanimity. I'll prove to you that he's lying, misleading, and totally devious. Then, the reality is that the source of the allegations is contained in the United States Department of Justice civil suit, which in fact has been put on hold since August 2007. He forgot to tell everyone that parties agreed, and the DOJ obtained an order to stay the civil proceedings so as to what? To commence and continue with criminal proceedings. See? How devious again, how misleading has the minister, telling. Yes, civil forfeiture has been stayed because all the assets have been saput already lah. Okay? Now we are going after. Okay? Individuals involved in the criminal proceedings. And why only now was a yacht, alright, seized? Because previously, those assets were located and were seized. But Equanimity, the yacht, disappeared from view, and now they found it, they gasak it. Okay? So again, see, he don't give us the whole history of the proceedings in America. And I therefore challenge this numbskull minister to an open debate and see how far and how much he knows about the proceedings in the United States of America. Okay? The Honourable Treasurer said the DOJ has yet to prove any of its allegations in a court of law. There are two proceedings now in America, civil and criminal. Okay? And in time to come, I will show to you what's going on by the actual evidence, okay, from the criminals involved in MDB. And then on 7 March, okay, there was a statement from the IGP, the new IGP. It says, among other things, 7 March, Fuji said if police receive any new evidence against JhoLow, they will take appropriate action against him, according to the relevant laws. The court case was against Low and not one MDB. Nor have we been contacted by any party to help in investigation in the yacht. Let's pause here for a while. When there was a so-called fake news against the Sultan and Tun Mahkota of Johor about a statement they made, swiftly went to Singapore to investigate. When they wanted to go after the editor of Sarawak Report, they contacted Interpol to issue a red notice, which was subsequently withdrawn because there was no basis. So if the police or the MACC are sincere in conducting investigations into the criminality of an MDB, JhoLow and any other person connected with the money laundering, Why have they not gone to IGP? I mean, to Interpol, IGP, gone to Interpol, or contacted the FBI? Instead, they say they haven't contacted us. If you are involved in criminality, in investigation, you go to the ends of the earth to catch the criminals. That's what the FBI doing instead. They will go to Indonesia to arrest the yacht owned by JhoLow. Can you see now? How devious, how misleading. They take some facts, all right, and ignore all the other incriminating facts to give fake news, half-truths. Okay, second example. Now, let's see whether Salih Krouak means what he says. This is 28th March. Start online. Salih Said Krouak. Fake news law not to silence debate on 1MDB. The allegation by some parties that the new fake laws is aimed at silencing debate regarding what Malaysian Development Berhad is not true. This was said by the Communications and Multimedia Minister, Dato Sri Dr. Saleh Said Krouak, who said there was nothing to stop anyone from debating or talking about 1MDB. Alright? Then he says, why there's a need for that new act? When a lie is repeated too many times, people can believe it to be true. This is a disease of fake news which affects the world globally, not just Malaysia. How true? When you keep on repeating lies, you hope to convince the people that the Malaysians are more clever than what you think. And he says, if you claim something, then you have to prove it to be true. You have to show your evidence, which needs to be verified for truth and authenticity. So when you tell lies, Minister, all right, who is going to prove and verify your lies? So you admit to yourself to determine what's truth and what's falsehood. You, the Minister of Multimedia Communications. So you wear two hats. And yet, by your own action, by your own words, you have proven that you have lied. Now I will go to the meat. Now recently, all right, following the seizure of the yacht in Indonesia, if he had, and anyone in the regime have took the trouble to read all the proceedings filed in court, they would not say that JhoLow is not connected with MDB, or JhoLow is not connected with the yacht in any way and did not own the yacht. So let me now tell you from actual documents, filed in court. Because like the civil claim, when there's an application before the court, the FBI makes a declaration. Okay. Now, this is a document filed on the 26th of March 2018. Okay. Take a handphone and photograph this. Alright? This is suit. Case 2-17 CV 04441 DSF PLA. Alright? Down below is the name of a person, FBI agent. Alright? You got it? Good. Now, the main suit has a separate number. Each asset, see, Salih Krouak didn't tell you purposely that the civil suit is for forfeiture. It doesn't go any individual, it's an action in RAM. In RAM means going after assets. And each asset is a separate suit. The main suit is against the firm Wolf of Wall Street and Red Granite. Thereafter, a separate suit for the penthouse, the bungalows, the pictures, the films, whatever, the paintings. So this suit concerned the yacht because it was bought with the money from M1MDB. That's why the defendant, all rights entitled to the yacht equanimity. Defendant. Okay? So don't lie and mislead Sally Kroak or anyone from the regime. The action is not concerned the individual. It's already stated there. The defendants are the asset from day one. Are you stupid? Can you not read English? Now let me say to you, regards to a certain application that was filed on the 26th of March, 27 and 28, the FBI makes certain statements, and I'll read to you now. As before, when you file any application in court based on facts, someone must verify that the facts are true. Huh? Listen up. The police must come into the picture and swear that the facts which the applicant is relying upon is true. And the person making that statement, right, will be open to the penalty of perjury and go to jail if any of his facts is not true. Has any of our police officer dare do that? Is there any requirement in Malaysia for that? No. So don't say nothing has been proven in court. Here is a declaration from FBI. Let me read to you. I, Justin McNair, declare as follows. I'm a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth in this declaration, and if called upon as a witness, could and would testify competently as to the case. 2. In that role, I have conducted a factual investigation into the operations, whereabouts, and activities of the yacht equanimity. The United States is seeking to forfeit, in the case, the United States against all right entitled to yacht equanimity. CV 174441 DSF PLAX, the action. Based on my investigation into equanimity, I've learned the following facts. Listen carefully, Sally Kwak. Listen carefully, Najib, and all you scumbags. Low Tick Joe Low sends directives to equanimity captain via the mobile messaging application WeChat. WeChat is a chat, right? Like WhatsApp, right? In China. So JhoLow is in China when they give these directives to the ship crew sailing the yacht. B. One of Low's directives was to turn off Equanimity's automatic identification system, AIS, as soon as news broke about this action. Meaning, JhoLow told his crew, switch off AIS. When they heard that, DOJ is going to seize the yacht. This was way back in 2017. Alright? C. While vessels may sometimes turn off their AIS to hide themselves when they are in high-risk territories with serious public concerns, the Equanimity was not in a high-risk territory when it turned off its AIS right after news broke about this action. After news broke of this action, another directive from JhoLow to the Equanimity's captain was for the Equanimity to avoid territorial waters of certain jurisdictions, including Australia, Singapore, and the US, on the ground that entering these jurisdictions could cause major problems. The captain was also told to instead keep the Equanimity in other jurisdictions like Vietnam, Cambodia, that's deemed safe. Low's directive were complied with. For example, the Equanimity AIS was indeed shut off right after news broke of this forfeiture action, and the equanimity did indeed avoid the jurisdiction that Low told the captain to avoid. So, if JhoLow was not involved in equanimity, JhoLow did not use money from 1MDB to buy this yacht, why are they running? Right? Being a fugitive, he may not aboard the ship somewhere else in China, but told the crew, don't sail near Singapore, Australia, US. Big trouble. Go to Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia. He's a fugitive running from the law. You got it, Salih Kwak? You got it, Rahman Dahlan? You got it, Najib? You got it, Zahid Hamidi? This is a facts sworn statement by FBI. And then he says, attached here to is Exhibit A is a true and correct copy of an English language translation of a court filing that claimants made in South Jakarta. Okay? So, FBI agent swear, and before he signed, he says this, I declare under penalty of perjury of the United States of America that the following is true and correct. Signed 26th of March, New York. Justice McNair. See the signature? So, Salih Kwak, what had you say? Has any person got the guts in Malaysia to swear on oath, right, that they who knows the facts of 1MDB, right, say, right, subject to the penalty of perjury, that what they say is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I dare you, Salih Kwak. I dare you, Rahman Dahlan. I dare you, Azalina. I dare you, Khairi. I dare you, Najib Razak. A whole bunch of people involved in the 1MDB money laundering saga. That what you say on the statutory declaration is the truth and nothing but truth. Otherwise, zip up and shut up. And now listen. There is now another document filed in court, document 40, filed on 27th of March. Okay? Hold on. Let me read to you. It is a statement pursuant to application by DOJ. The filing of this forfeiture suit against equanimity and the issuance of the court arrest warrant in rem. The United States filed this in rem civil forfeiture suit against equanimity in June 15, 2017. This statement is the background facts. Right? The equanimity is a 300-foot luxury yacht purchased by Malaysian national JhoLow for $250 million in 2004. Here is a statement by DOJ. The yacht was purchased by JhoLow. And how can you say? There's no evidence that JhoLow bought the yacht or that JhoLow is not involved with 1MDB. Here is a statement by the DOJ. Are you saying DOJ is lying? I challenge you to say it. I challenge anyone from the Najib regime to say DOJ is lying when making this fact. The equanimity is a 300-foot luxury yacht purchased by Malaysian national JhoLow for $250 million in 2004. Low purchased the equanimity with funds stolen and embezzled from one Malaysian Development Fund, Berhad, a Malaysian state-owned investment company. Okay? JhoLow was a central player in orchestrating the theft of billions of dollars from 1MDB. On June 16, 2017, this court issued an arrest warrant in rem for equanimity. The warrant states that there is probable cause to believe that the defendant asset is subject to forfeiture to the United States pursuant to 18 U.S.C. 981A, 1A, and C. The warrant further commands the FBI U.S. Marshals and or any other duly authorized law enforcement officer to arrest and seize the defendant asset. The warrant was served on equanimity while in Indonesia on about February 19, 2018. Then it goes on to say, law instructs claimants to keep the equanimity out of the government's hands and outside the United States. In the months following the issuance of the court's arrest warrant in RAM, there is significant evidence that JhoLow instructed claimants to keep the equanimity outside the government's hands and outside the United States. For example, according to the evidence developed by the government, Low says directive to the equanimity's captain and crew. One of those directives was to turn off the equanimity's automatic identification system, AIS, as soon as news broke out about a civil forfeiture case against the equanimity. Another directive was for the equanimity to avoid the territorial waters of certain jurisdictions, including the US itself and close US allies, Australia and Singapore. The equanimity captain was told to instead stick to other jurisdictions like Vietnam, Cambodia, where equanimity was deemed safe. Low's directive was apparently complied with. For example, the equanimity AIS was indeed shut off right after news broke of this forfeiture action, and the equanimity did indeed avoid the jurisdiction that Low told the captain to avoid. Okay? And then he goes on to say, in February 2018, the US government received word that equanimity was moored off the island of Bali, Indonesia. The US government requested that the Indonesian government seize the equanimity and hand the yacht over to the US government. After conducting its own criminal investigation, on February 28, 2016, the Indonesian government seized the equanimity under its own laws and represented to the public that it would try to surrender the yacht to the US government in early March. Okay? So, there's no investigation. The seizure was effected by the Indonesian authorities at the request, alright, of US DOJ. See, even Indonesian government authorities complied and assisted. But we in Malaysia, right, took a terrible attitude, better head in the sand, and avoid any genuine investigations, okay, according to our law. But I proved to you all my previous videos, Ben Nagara has whacked 1MDB. What else do you have to say? Now, these are critical facts which I need to only to highlight. It's a huge amount of documents, okay? So my point here is this. FBI make a statement confirming the truth, the facts supporting the application for seizure, arrest of the ship. Now, if you want to challenge, anyone want to challenge the action of DOJ and Indonesia, they must file an affidavit. I can guarantee you that the lawyers of JhoLow and Equanimity, they have annexed a declaration by one chap called Alan Wilson. Alan Wilson. Okay? Filed by his lawyer, okay, to oppose the seizure. The second declaration is by a lawyer called Nayun Rim to oppose the seizure. You got it? Now let me tell you, in law and procedure, when specific allegations made against anyone involved in the suit, they must file a declaration in their own name or instruct their lawyers to make statement to exert on their behalf. Now there's clear statement by the FBI agent of JhoLow using WeChat, which is in China, right, equivalent to WhatsApp, giving specific directions to avoid seizure, avoid jurisdiction under the US or allies like Australia or Singapore, and go to safe haven countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, and Indonesia. Why has it not challenged this fact which the FBI agent on the pain of penalty says, these are the facts I examined, I investigated, I found to be true. No deny. Now who is this fella who has filed a declaration by the name of, right, Alan Wilson? Well, Alan Wilson is the CEO of a company, okay, a shipping company called Wilson Yacht Management, based in London, okay. He can only testify about the ship. And in his statement, he says that he's a CEO, let me show you, right, of the ship management team. Alan Wilson, the managing director of the team that manages the yacht. And the only statement he made was that it requires skills, special skills, for the crew and the captain to sail the ship. And therefore, they are opposing DOJ's request that the ship be sailed from Indonesia to America, because any crew that comes on to the ship may not be qualified to sail the ship. Okay. But the DOJ said, we don't need all the crew from this company. They will retain some of them to ensure they will assist the crew nominated by DOJ that will sail from Indonesia to US. That's what he said in his statement. My company and its crew that sail the yacht are the experts. Without them, the ship cannot, or the yacht cannot sail to USA. And DOJ says, no problem. We don't need your 30 members, right? The captain and few key people, all right? Together with our crew, we will sail. No denial. No denial whatsoever. Same thing to the lawyer. Why did not deny or get JhoLow to make a declaration in China, notarize that declaration, all right, and send it to America or Indonesia? No denial. And the law is very clear. In Malaysia, if there's an allegation of fact in the pleadings, in the affidavit, you must challenge those allegations or it's deemed to be accepted. Okay. Ask any lawyer who has experienced a court case. All right. So, what do you have to say now? Terry Crook? You want proof? I've given you. Now I challenge you to give your proof, right? Okay. That JhoLow is not involved in 1MDB. JhoLow is not involved in the yacht. Okay. If you're not the boss, you think you can by WeChat tell the crew what to do, how to sail, where to sail, if you're not the owner or have custody and control of the yacht. Nah. Okay, I'm going to use figure up to you. Okay. So to all my friends in Malaysia, fellow citizens, don't be intimidated by this act. I've told you many times, truth is on our side. Justice on our side. Fight truth for truth and defeat evil. All out war. If you're telling the truth, you have no worries or be scared. We can't stop this act being passed in Parliament because all these crooks in Parliament who allow this act to be passed are crooks. There's something to hide. But the fire, the sword of truth will demolish them. The shield of faith will protect us. I'm going to say to all of you, and to my enemies in the regime. I'm prepared to die for this truth. I'm prepared to go to jail for this truth. Try to fix me up, you see. Whether my documents are fake or truth. You have told half-truth and lies, and blatant lies, distortion, information. And I hope all of you, Malaysians, will rise up and overthrow by this election this cruel regime, this evil, and show to Hadi of past why is he being neutral? Where's so much evidence? In my last video, I've shown more evidence, right? Now some more. Concerning JhoLow, this China Kwai, this bastard criminal. I'm calling him a bastard criminal, you know? JhoLow sue me for defamation, for telling lies. That what I said to you this morning is all lies. JhoLow, sue me. I challenge you. You got the balls. Why run and hide in China? Come to Malaysia. You're a Malaysian citizen, isn't it? Right? Unless you have changed your citizenship, then you are not a Malaysian citizen. Because you have dual citizenship or two passports, you have committed offense. Alright? You see, these are the facts. Why is it so difficult? Sari Kroak. For you to go to America or get an ambassador, our ambassador in Malaysia, in the USA, to get those documents. I got it. How come he can't get it? After what's the role of the ambassador in US for the regime? Get the truth. Scumbag. Now, having said that, I want to show you another document. Because as I said to you earlier, the proceedings, civil proceedings has been stayed for the criminal proceedings to proceed. Alright? And in the order for staying the civil proceedings, the court said that the DOJ must report on the status every 180 days. This is a long, many pages, right? So I will show to you. This is the chronology of documents filed in court. On the 23rd of March, look at the bottom, huh? Look at the bottom. The words, huh? Okay? Just photograph it first, I'll explain to you. Alright? So, what it says here is, right? On the 23rd of March, document 34, sealed declaration of John Cusera in support application for leave for camera review. Okay? That means the evidence is so critical. It can only be something called under camera. Under camera means, not under camera as a camera, it's a terminology, legal terminology, in secret. Like in a rape case, for example, okay, when the victim, child, woman raped by a bastard rapist, the evidence given by the victim is always in camera, meaning the public is not allowed. The judge, the victim, and the lawyers. The prosecution and defense lawyer. No, in camera means so secret. Because this, what the DOJ is doing in the criminal proceedings cannot be exposed so that these people will run away as JhoLow is running away. That's why document 34 and 35 I can't download because it's sealed under court order to preserve its integrity and confidentiality. Okay? But sooner or later, it will be. And then, this is the order signed by the court, allowing DOJ to submit status report in camera. And the document is sealed. So that JhoLow and other criminals associated with 1MDB and the other bastards will not have advance notice, so that it will be a surprise attack when you get them by the throats, by the jugular. So when you say Right? Now I hold you to your word that this Anti-Fake News Act will not, right? Will not, as your words, silence the debate on matters regarding one Malaysia different Berhad. Okay, so what your words, huh? Start online, 28 March, huh? It's not a silence debate on one NDB. Let's see whether my continuing challenges to you, Saleh, will be silenced. Because if you silence me, then you're a hypocrite, you're a freaking liar. I hold you to your word, huh? Your public declaration report will start online on 28th of March 2018. Thus far, you have not issued any correction that you've been misreported, huh? Or misquoted, like the silly gangster politician MB of Negeri Sembilan, having announced and declared the Amul youth in the presence of Khairi and another Tak clapping and cheering, they can use violence against any shops who are supporting the opposition. And then when you came out, I was misquoted. So let's see whether you're misquoted or not. Okay, let's see. I'll fight you head on. I will fight you head on. Okay, I have more ammunition. That's why, fellow Malaysians, before I move on to the next issue, how many times did I say, have I not said, almost every video address I make to you, when they whack us, every time when they whack us with something new, with a new weapon, new ammunition, and you get frightened, did I not say to you, all of you, that I pray every morning to Allah for protection, to defend me and to guide me, and every time when they attack, Allah intervenes. And sure enough, I'm not sure to you. I spoke today, it was because today is what day? 29th, isn't it? And this is 28th. Statement by Saleh Kwak. Documents filed in court on the 27th of March. So it takes me time to download. See? They lie. They cheat. They intimidate. Scumbags. And sure enough, while they're doing that, Allah allows me access to these documents. Almost the same time as they were lying, cheating, misinforming, committing deception. So please, my fellow Malaysians, we can only win this war, and I say it in all sincerity. We are human beings. They have all the powers of abuse. The only way we win this fight is we surrender to the will of God, to Allah, have absolute faith. Do you know what's so disgusting about this issue about anti-fake news? Najib and his cabal arrogate himself that they are the truth. They tell the truth. They represent the truth. And they are Muslims, huh? And they are Muslims. And I call upon all Muslims in this country, you are a majority. Okay. For those who are non-Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, each and every one of our religion say the same thing. Only God is the guardian of truth. Only truth comes from God and is revealed to us. So no one, not Najib, not Zahid, Saleh Kwak, Rahman Dahlan, anyone can say what they say is the truth. The truth resides in Allah. So once again, I'm going to remind you, okay? This is the truth. Photograph it. Surah Al Imran, verse 60 to 61. This is your weapon to counter anti-fake news. For heaven's sake, wake up, Muslims. I've said how many times already? All right? Now let me read to you, please. If you don't invoke God and Allah to your defense, then you don't deserve to win. Because in this surah, Allah has taught all of you Muslims the way to wage battle against false lies, blasphemy. And you don't follow? You call yourself the Muslims, and you want me, a non-Muslim, a Christian, to convert to Islam and to follow the teachings of Allah and the revelations in the Quran when you don't practice what you preach. So I have a right to demand all Muslims and to pass hadith, especially. You cannot stay neutral when there are lies fabricated by the regime. How dare you, hadith? So let me tell you hadith and all past members. Surah Al-Imran, verse 60-61. The truth comes from God alone. So be not of those who doubt. If anyone disputes in this matter with thee, now after full knowledge has come to thee, say, come, let's gather together, unite, our sons and your sons, our women and your women, ourselves and yourselves. Then let us earnestly pray and invoke the curse of God of those who lie. So they have lied. And what did Allah says, revealed in the Quran? Gather together means unite together. Our sons, our women, your women, ourselves and ourselves. And we pray. We pray earnestly. And we have the right to invoke the curse of God on those who lie. So therefore I now, on behalf of the entire country, in accordance with the Arahan from Allah in the Quran, invoke the curse on those who lie. This is a blueprint for action. This is the way we move forward. This is the way we don't have to show we are scared, intimidated. Was the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, when he was in Mecca, ostracized, threatened, did he bow down in shame and compromise? With truth as his sword, faith as his shield, he took his enemies face on and ultimately won. Did he not? Despite all the threats, the devious strategy and tactics to kill him, okay, to defeat him, he won. And then Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 42. And cover not truth with falsehood, nor conceal the truth when you know what it is. Surah 39, Al-Zumar, verse 3. God guides not such as are false and ungrateful. Hadi, pass, Muslims. What do you have to say to this? Najib, your mufti, your ulamas, your imam in your party, what do you have to say to this? Tell me, a non-Muslim, am I right to follow this injunction in the Quran? To fight the evil that is the regime. And you, Hadi says, right, but by being neutral, I'm not defending evil. If you know it's evil, you can't keep quiet. Scumbag, I challenge you, Hadi, that what I say, my quotation of Surah is wrong. Then Surah 3. Again, Al-Imran, verses 159-60. Then when thou hast taken a decision, put thy trust in God. For God loves those who put their trust in Him. If God helps you, none can overcome you. If He forsakes you, who is there after that? Can that help you? In God then, let believers put their trust. That's why I've been saying all this while. In the face of evil and enemies, you put your trust in Allah. And only Allah can save us to defeat the evil. I didn't say it's evil. Past, you have defined what's happening as evil, but you want to be neutral. Your neutrality doesn't mean you defend evil. But evil does not make you or allow you to be neutral. You have to follow Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Barakat, Surah Al-Zumar. You have to do something. You have to fight for truth. And finally, as written by Abdullah bin Masud, observe truthfulness as a duty and always speak the truth. For truthfulness puts you on the path of virtue, and virtue leads you to heaven. When a person tells the truth as a rule and makes truthfulness a way of life, he attains the place of sincerity and faithfulness. With God, his name is written among the sincere. And stay strictly away from falsehood, for falsehood puts you on the path of immorality and leads you to hell. And when a man takes to lying, the secret is that his name is written with God among the faithless and the insincere. Bukhari and Muslim. Okay? So tell me, where am I wrong? Hadi? Tell me, where am I wrong, Najib? Sakruak, Raman Dalan, Azalina, Kari, you numbskull. Where am I wrong? You are a Muslim. Don't hide. You are not to cover truth. You are not to cover truth, but fight for truth. And then come to someone who's always inspired us throughout the whole world. Alright? I do religion. But what he say are the gems of wisdom and truth. Okay, he says here, Mahatma Gandhi, many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct or for being years ahead of your time. If you're right and you know it, speak your mind. Speak your mind even if you are a minority of one. The truth is still the truth. Mohandas Gandhi. Even if you're the only one left standing, and what you say is the truth, do not compromise. For ultimately, truth will prevail. Justice will prevail. And yet you pass members, led by Hadi, says, I want to be neutral. When truth is standing in your face, and Allah has taught you how to uphold truth, you want to be neutral. You are a freaking hypocrite. Alright? And all the members of UMNO who cling on to the coattails of Najib, I'm sorry. I have no respect for you people. You wear Islam on the lapel. Strut like a peacock that you're righteous. But in fact, you're filth, scumbags. And you dare, in parliament and in public, swear you hold the truth. Same breath you lie, you fabricate, you distort, you misrepresent, misinform people. How could you go to sleep at night? How do you face your parents, your family, your children? You're a disgrace. You think by passing the anti-fake news law, you can bury the truth? You're fighting against Allah. You're not fighting against me. Allah has big punishment for those who lie. His curse on you. Therefore, to my countrymen, Muslim, non-Muslims, how can you not surrender to the will of Allah? Have faith that He will protect us, defend us, and guide us under all circumstances in the face of enemies, adverse challenges, and evil. How much more do I need to explain to you all, to show you by actual example? When they, the evil people, whack us, and do funny things to us, God intervenes and gives us more ammunition. Have I not shown to you how many times? How many times? So to all the leaders of the opposition parties, Muslim leaders especially, Christian leaders, Buddhist and Hindu leaders, may I suggest all of you, when we face evil, you cannot defeat evil by human action. Evil is perpetrated by who? By Satan, the devil. And therefore the only weapon against the devil must be God, as revealed in the Quran, as revealed in the Bhagavad Gita, Dhammapada, and the Bible. So I suggest, okay, if you want to do a demonstration, then call upon all the leaders of the opposition parties, NGOs, leaders of the church of all denomination, leaders of the Buddhist faith of all denomination, leaders of the Hindu faith of all denomination, and leaders of the Muslim faith. Come together in a huge rally and pray that evil will be destroyed, truth and justice will triumph. I will say this, it's my heart, I believe so. If none of any of these leaders of the religious faith, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, or any of the parties opposing power, abuse of power, and corruption of this regime, if you don't do this, my conscience is clear. I will not support you. I will still pray to Allah, but I will not support your effort, because by your action you are telling me you have turned your back on Allah. I will not be with you. I cannot be with you in any way or form, because you are telling me by not praying to Allah, by not inspiring a whole country to come together, to pray together, to defeat evil, and just believe your own strength when you're just a human being, when God has ultimate strength, ultimate truth, as ultimate protector. Then I'm sorry, I'd rather be alone, as inspired by Gandhi, even in a minority of one. And then, like I said before, may the cleansing fire of Allah burn all of you to smithereens and to ashes, because you have turned your back on Allah. And if I have to go to jail, or the bullet is between my eyes by anyone who tells lies, I do so willingly, in the knowledge, in the faith, come hell high water, in whatever form of my demise, Allah, God Almighty, will look after me. That I have believed earnestly. I am not religious. This is what I learned from reading the Quran, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Dhammapada. So don't tell me, all leaders across the political divide, that you are right, you are righteous, you fight for the truth, you got balls to fight, but you're only human. Without the aid of God, I would not follow you. No way. Any country, any leader, there's no spiritual values. I think they're so almighty that on their own strength, as a mere human being, you can take on evil, go your way. Go your way. I may be the minority of one. Alright? Others stand alone as one with God, than mixed with anyone who thinks their stature, their ego, their only human strength can defeat evil. With that, I plead and I beseech all of you, people of Malaysia, good people of Malaysia, if you care for your country, if you care for your children, in your grandchildren in the future. Tell your leaders, Atuns, MPs, members of the Supreme Council, whatever you call it, right, of all the parties, of the NGOs, of the religious establishment. Tell them in their face, you are our leaders, show the way. We want to follow the righteous path as promised by Allah. With that, I conclude today's address, and I hope you have learned what I've exposed to you, the latest regarding JhoLow. Take to heart. When they whack us, Allah will intervene. Have a good day, and God bless all of you. Thank you.